All right, guys, welcome back to another new Legacy episode, and that's crazy. Like, I literally got a legend here, right? This podcast is what we got. Like a lot of people that are entrepreneur making their first million, something like that. But like new Legacy, but this is like a legend here that we got. So this is like a very special treat. Bill, thank you for being here, and thank you for everything.
Hey,
Today was
listen. Hey,
amazing, man.
listen. No. I mean, it's not just new legacy. It's new Oakland. But I mean, coming from me, it's new East Oakland. And I mean, what you're doing right here is beautiful. Thank you for having me. I mean, you're amazing within your own right. I mean, those that know you and what you do in the game, and particularly for me and my brand. So, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So on this podcast, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions because a lot of like new generational entrepreneur and people at my age right now, a lot of us are lost because we don't have a sense of direction where we can go. And you being in your industry at the top of your industry and building a legacy behind it, like in today's society, like what should like a 30-year-old, 20, 30-year-old guy like me, like how do I get the right blueprint in order to like have a successful life like yours?
I mean, it was jumping out of me to, stop all that stuttering.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the vision. You have young people. You have everything but the mental fortitude to keep going, to stay faithful in that vision that you have. You know what I mean? The old timers, they taught us how to say no. Don't be so quick to say yeah. Not only am I going to go out to party or am I going to invest, but I must be so quick to think I'm not already on the right path. Where you find your passion, you're going to find your purpose. And clearly, my message is to keep going. Keep going. I mean, what you put in is what you're going to get out. And who wants a story to say that they've overcame anything and it hasn't involved a significant climb? You know what I mean? Or a significant climax.
Yeah. Let's learn a little bit more about your history. Are you from the Bay, or how was your upbringing like?
The Bay.
Yeah.
I am the Bay. You know what I mean? Respectfully. And I always scream East Oakland, but I hope that I'm a representative of the Bay. I hope I'm a representative of Northern California. You know what I mean? And all of our independence and all our excellence, you know what I mean? And all of our uniqueness. More importantly, the Bay Area culture is something that's different. You have to be here, to really understand it. Like that sourdough bread. You know that sourdough bread that they've made a whole lot of money of? Do you know it only comes from right here?
Oh, no.
Yeah, listen, that bread is so good, right? And we here don't really value it, but as you travel the world, you see that even that is unique within itself. But in all seriousness and fairness, that the brands that we represent so wholeheartedly, have generated the passion and the purpose that has driven, me at DHP, Devin Haney Promotions.
Mm-hmm. What year did you like decided to like go all in on your business and build, the legacy that you have today?
Well, I believe that if you knock on the door the first time and you introduce yourself, the second time might be the charm. For me, the first lap, being a manager involved with various music artists, you know what I mean, was, I guess, my intro into understanding the business. You know what I mean? And, that's not necessarily where I get a whole lot of acclaim.
Yeah.
But, the place that I'm most valued at is where I've spent the most time at is with my son, with Devin. And, just building him and, that brand and supporting him in his brand, of course, has been one of the biggest blessings and accomplishments in my life.
Mm-hmm. When you were building your business, what were some of the toughest moments that, you're like, damn, man, how am I going to stretch to catch this goal right here?
Well, I mean, I said is is saying no.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Everyone will say, you know what I mean. Come on, I could help it grow faster. Some will say, I can, you know, uh, some will encourage you, to choose other things. Unfortunately, you know what I mean, and say that you're going down the wrong road, or you're approaching it the wrong way. You know what I mean? But just saying, no, thank you. I believe in what my vision is. I'm faithful to it. You know what I mean? And I think that's wholeheartedly, I believe that that's the one driving force that you're going to need. You know, Fortunately for us, we had a lot of individuals and a lot of corporations and organizations that were willing to come in and support, come in and invest, come in and be partners with us. And I always told them, like, that's the most, that's the greatest compliment, is that you will come in and you want to come in and support.
Hmm.
But being from Oakland, right? Being from here,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think that it was much more fly that we were able to create a brand, you know what I mean, and do what we've been able to do thus far.
Yeah. And then while building that brand, like, how did you build your champion? Devin is your champion and many more. But how did you got started and getting him to where he is today?
Well, wherever a person, and even a kid, and mine, you know what I mean, and I want to say a kid because of where we started, but of course he's a boss now. But to raise him from a kid to a boss, it's in the passion of him.
Yeah.
Where you find a person's passion, you'll find their purpose. And you know what I mean. As a coach, it's not about us coaching from our perspective. It's about coaching the greatness in them. You know what I mean? And of course, our expertise
Yeah.
will come second to their passion. You know what I mean? Our belief system will come second to their passion, right? So everything is centered around the athlete. You know what I mean? And fortunately for me, it was Devin, my son, and you know what I mean. He's been everything that he said he was going to be. You know what I mean? And that's a dedicated, you know what I mean, very accomplished athlete in the sport.
Yeah. We had a conversation in the back earlier, and you were talking about how you want to help people, but when you help people, you don't want to force your dreams on them, right? You want to be able to like see it from their perspective and kind of like guide them to where it is. Like, can you explain a little bit on that?
Well, a person is gonna go as far as their passion is gonna let them, no matter, you know what I mean, what you might envision for them, right? They're ultimately gonna be driven by their passion instead of driven by an education that they acquired along the way. You know what I mean? That will never develop the burning desire to keep doing something. You know what I mean? So I tend to just see each person for their strengths and what they're passionate about, and hopefully that'll align with the bigger puzzle and life of you know what I mean, it being, you know what I mean, a more happy and better place around me, at least that is.
Hmm. What kind of legacy are you working on passing to the next generation? Like, if Bill Haney were to die today, what is that one message to the world that you want to put out?
Damn, Zone, today? You dig what I'm saying? I mean, I would definitely, want, everyone to know is to continue to chase your passion. Where you find your passion, you find your purpose. You know what I mean? And that's where you'll find the energy to keep going. I know that life is not about achieving, you know what I mean, the penthouse when you're on the ground level. Each and every step will give you that step closer. But what would you want to get to the top without having a story to tell? You know what I mean? I think everything is story related and story driven. So if your story couldn't be about passion, purpose, and resilience, you know what I mean, about heart and desire and all those beautiful things that makes stories beautiful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then what life are you truly the architect of?
So, Bill, you're going to be helping a lot of people build their own champion. just like you have. And let's say if we were to help a parent build their own champion, their own, a coach or whatever, build their own champions. What are some, like habits or mindset or certain core beliefs you have to, I guess, like give that coach, that parent to build that champion, starting from today.
Well, with my belief that any parent to partner, making that transition is the most beautiful thing in the world. You go from operating from a parent perspective where you are the author, you are the authoritarian of the story. You make all the decisions, to understanding that the partner, your child, is something that's beautiful, that's been given from God, with every blessing and every opportunity and every vision in the world. And you making that transition to being a partner is the most wonderful thing in the world. So if anyone can understand with me, is that I was able to do that with Devin, to see that he has a vision, and in his vision he found his purpose as well, and through that we've been, unified in our last name and not our first.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I don't have a really good like connection with my parents, and that's something that's like always like a bug for me. And I think it's just because like maybe like I'm an immigrant kid, like I immigrated to the U.S. and there are certain values and certain values in America. It's like different, so like we have a big disconnect. Like, what would you recommend like for me to like be able to connect with them on a deeper level? Because it's not just the parent to partnership, but it's just like I want to have like emotional home.
Well, it's going to always be the parent to partner. You've always going to have to understand that there's no one to be left behind. I believe that no man should be left behind, whether it be a parent, whether it be a kid. That could be parents that are left behind, whether they be immigrants, whether they be unfortunately incarcerated or suffering from any kind of illnesses, whether they're mental or physical. I believe that no man should be left behind. You have a responsibility, and not necessarily by choice, but by blessings by God. That's your parent. You're only given one man that's going to ever come into your life and tell you the truth, and that's whether or not you can deal with it, and that's going to be your dad. There's only going to be one woman that's going to love you, and she's going to also tell you the truth, and she's going to accept you for who you are, and that's going to be your mom. Other than that, you'll have choices that you're going to make. You weren't able to choose your parents. God made that choice. So there's going to be a responsibility that you're going to have, and there's going to always be a disconnect, because there's going to be years of wisdom that's going to separate you guys. And as you get older, you say, okay, well, this is what mom was talking about. This is what dad was talking about. But fortunately for you right now, you have an opportunity to do both. You have an opportunity to be a successful, guy with his own right. You know what I mean? But we as men have those that we have parents and all that. We have an opportunity to be successful sons. You know what I mean? So I encourage you to, take an opportunity to listen to him, to hear him. You know what I mean? Because why wait till it's too late when you can listen to him right now?
And then, like the craziest thing is, I met you yesterday. You drove all the way up from LA, and like Bill does his own stunt. I told him this yesterday. He does his own stunt. Like he literally like been working ever since like I met you yesterday. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like you've been doing this forever. Like what do you like? Is there like a supplement, like a creatine, or like something you take? Like, because
I'll tell you one thing is, if it was something, I would go ahead and serve it to you myself and get it. They try to say, it's a whole lot of things, but I don't know what it is, and it has to be given from God, man. It's just, you know what I mean. I'm thankful, that I'm blessed to have wonderful people, incredible people, beautiful, You know what I mean? Queens first. Got to say queens first. You know what I mean? And very powerful kings in my life that have played all kind of different parts. You know what I mean? To make up me. So I'm very thankful and grateful. And you know what I'm saying? Shit, we're gonna keep this shit going. You know, but have faith in the vision that God has given you. Or, I mean, just have the faith in the vision that you have. Isn't that just good enough? You see it. It's not about what somebody else sees. It wasn't given to them. It was given to you. So let's be faithful there first. How about that?
Like your mind is so fast. I can't even keep up. Like usually I'm like, like
No, yes, you
the,
can. Yes, you can.
the way
Yes, you
like
can.
like
Yes, you can.
I mean I've been with you all day.
Yes.
I was like, how is this guy doing it? Like I was like, you talk to this coach, boom, coach, boom, shoot a
Yes.
commercial, boom,
Yes.
boom,
Yes.
and then we're gonna run like
Well, when that time comes, there you go, Dame Fame in the building, East Oakland legend. You dig? And when you ever filming and you over here with Zoom, he said Zoom, but I say Zoom, 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 right? But when you ever over here, I mean, you have a wonderful opportunity to meet some great individuals, man, that are the entrepreneurs that are behind the scenes. You dig? And I'm so happy to be here. But when he says quick, I say, listen, when you operate in your truth, when you operate in your story, that's the most amazing thing in the world. And I tell you this, do your story before AI does it. You dig? I said that was the biggest fear is one day that somebody, you'll look up and you'll be like, damn, that's me, you know? And so all those wonderful things that you have going on, all those amazing ideas, let's do a brain dump in 2026. Huh? How about that? Didn't you hear about the brain dump?
no. Tell me about it.
Well, I mean, it's sometimes, a lot of times, you have such amazing things that the world needs to hear, that you gotta do it. And you don't have the people to say it to. You don't feel as comfortable. Let's write it down. Let's verbally say it. Let's audio say it. Let's do the brain dump. That's imperative. That's amazing. That's something that I do, and I reference back to some of the videos that I do, some of the stuff that I jot down. You know what I mean? And I'll hear something else and say, okay, we're 100% on course. You know what I mean? Just by doing that, and then it also allows me to what I feel like. Okay, I've dumped that. I've put that out. I've talked about that. Now, let me continue to think about something, because when you have an idea and it continues to fester, like we all do, I think that everybody is creative and have these ideas, amazing ideas. When they continue to fester, I think that they don't allow for new ideas to come in. You know what I mean? So to continue to grow, let's brain dump.
How often should you do that?
Well, I mean, it just depends on how many gigs you want your thing to be operating by. One of my friends told me, he was like, "Hey, B." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Hey, man, if you have the gigabytes to take on that other project," I says, "Well, guess what? I'm gigged up, buddy." You know what I mean? And shout out to Frank, who's an amazing guy, and he's an entrepreneur as well, but he's more so in the film space and story driven and stuff like that. So he was inspired by Devin's story and what he's did. But he's always like, "Bill, I love your story." I says, "Hey, Frank, you only invested in Devin's."
No, I think like that you built the foundation for all things to happen and for the legacy and for everyone here right now. There's a bunch of people behind the scene, like that courage you had to take action and made everything happen. Like on my podcast, there's a lot of beginner entrepreneur. How do people find that courage to step into like the best version of themselves in order to carry out their vision that you mentioned or their dreams and make it a reality?
Well, I mean, that's what we we represent, and especially with me, and then with our company with Mastermind Mental Performance, is that you mentally be prepared to see the win, right? And you have the vision. If you don't see the win, then you're preparing for the loss. Okay, I mean you see yourself doing it, so why aren't you? You know what I mean? You reverse and engineer, and you say, okay, well, this guy is in this place, and he's in this place. Why? Why is he in there and not you? Is it the work? Is it the work? Are you asking yourself, is it the work? Did you get up? Right? Did you change your diet? Right? Did you do the education that's required to be in that place that guy is that you envision yourself? Mm-hmm. So it's so easy to always say, oh, I wish I was there. I wish I was there. But are you prepared to be there? Because sometimes the world says, listen, I don't want to put you in a place that you're not prepared for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the more prepared you are, the bigger the stage gets. The stage is small as your preparation.
Damn. That's sauce.
It's new legacy.
That's sauce. I mean, I'm just asking you these questions so I get my coaching session for free, But
hey, listen, hey, this thing is so beautiful that we've been blessed with it. You know what I mean? We're constantly into giving as much of it as we can. You know what I mean? We just hope that someone is inspired. Our whole journey was based on that you have it, not me. You know what I mean? You have it. You already have it in you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for having you here. Like, literally, we have a guy driving up from LA right now to be on this podcast. It's a small podcast I just put together, and like, my goal was to just get viral clips for people, and it turns out to be something even crazier.
Ain't nothing small about his vision. His vision is big. It's big, and that's why I came. New legacy. Remember it.
I built. So, as for the people that are watching this podcast and entrepreneurs, let's say if they want to have a winning legacy in a business like you, what are some core principle that let's say 3 core principle that they need to have in their business to weather all condition?
Okay, so
because you've been in the game for ever.
Well, first is that we talk about the vision that you must have, that we all have, right? Mm-hmm. Then we have to have faith, right? Faith that this was given to us and it wasn't given to him, her, and everyone else. And sometimes that we might be misunderstood, you know what I mean? But we're faithful that this vision is for us, right? Mm-hmm. And then have the resilience, more importantly, to see that vision through, and to not quit so many times that, you know what I mean, we have an opportunity to sometimes have help. And in that help, that there becomes confusion because they're helping for money or they're helping for other things other than the fact that they have the vision. So you have to be careful. You know what I mean? Who you allow into your universe, who you allow into your energy. And as long as you have those 3, I think that you're going to be all right. It's vision, faith, and resilience are my probably top 3.
Yeah. And you talked about like building a team and things like that a little bit. I heard a little bit behind the scene, but I'm trying to build my own team too as well. And
yes.
The hardest thing I have is like be able to deal with people and managing people. How did you scale your business?
Well, I mean, people are going to manage themselves, and when people say who they are, you have to believe them. But it depends on what kind of company and what kind of business that you're building. I think that I'm serving a universe that God has allowed me to be a part of. In that universe, everybody is special, and so as they come, you know what I mean, I allow them to play their part. You know what I mean, and in that part, sometimes it shows just how patient I am.
Yeah. And you talk about like a 10-year plan, something like that.
Well, I mean, in that 10-year plan, I think that, you know, you grow, you you find optimism, you find you find faith, you find understanding. I think every they say every 7 years, I think they say you change. I think in 10 years everything develops,
Hmm.
into a professional, right? My daughter is 11 years old right now. Devin is super accomplished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, with his own right. But for my daughter to be 11 years old and to get daddy and make me dig down deep, baby, I'm coming. I'm coming. I believe in you, and I believe in at 21 you will be one of the best in the world, and that's the 10-year plan. You know what I mean? But she's 11, so in 5 years she's 16, and 16 she's already touted to be whoever and all the stuff. So in that 5 years from now, you got half of that is 2.5. So that means we only really have 2.5 on the 5. Woo, we gotta work, baby. I'm on my way. I'm on my way home. Daddy is on their way. And guess what? Every young man that got something, if you ain't working like I'm working, then you really ain't working. You don't got a whole lot of time, young man, or sir, or mister. Go home. You got something. The star is at home and not on television while you're looking at me. I'm still working. That's that 10-year plan. How about that?
Wow. Okay, so at the boxing fight yesterday, literally, you're the
Wait,
only.
but you know what? Guess what? It's somebody that's special to me. He ain't got no kids. He just got him. And he got a hell of a 10-year plan. And I'll be asking myself, shit, you ain't got no excuses. What you working on?
Mhm.
You can start right now and be the greatest. Be a whole lot of shit
Yeah,
in 10. What you doing?
yeah,
If you ain't doing that, if you're not seeing the win, then what you preparing for?
a loss.
There you go, King. That's what we live by.
Okay, so you been able to build a really big audience, and everywhere we go yesterday, literally everyone's like running up to you and like trying to get a picture, things like
Don't
that.
tell them that the comments say that I ain't nothing, and
What?
the comments say a whole lot of shit. You ain't supposed to be telling that because the comments be thinking that we not lit, that people don't believe in what we own.
I mean, I'm telling the truth. I only met Bill like 4 times, all right? And I can't even keep up with him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like I have a lot of, really big clients, but they have a big following, but their fan bases are not as like, you know, excited to see them as you are.
Involved. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you able to achieve success at such a high level, but be able to connect to the everyday people?
Well, I mean, that's what I think I represent. I represent everyday people and the possibility that anybody can do it. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know what I mean? I'm saying that um, opposite hard work and vision and resilience and all these things that you can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that's the total opposite. So I think when people see me, they see themselves versus seeing some, superhero or some, you know what I mean, big actor or any of the other things. I think they see somebody just like them.
Damn, that's crazy. I mean, for me, I got to see it in person, and I only met you
Yeah,
4 times, so I'm
yeah,
like, there's no reason I need to be like, oh yeah,
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
it's like, I was like, damn. Me and Jill were talking about this. I was like, damn, he's a big dog in the city. Every city he goes to, I was like, what the heck is going on here?
Shout out to all the people showing some love. See what I'm saying? You making us look good, man. I appreciate you. We do it for you. That's it. That ain't no other secret.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I know you got a lot of big things coming up, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but we're gonna learn a little bit more about. You said there's a champion code program that you're putting out, and what does it look like for you for 2026?
Well, I mean, obviously, we have a lot of big things with DHP and Devin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We think the world of him, and you know what I mean. We have big plans and big expectations. You know what I mean. But in the interim, hopefully that I can help as many individuals as I can. You know what I mean with our program, the Champions Code. You know what I mean? And hopefully it's something that will inspire someone to see the champion or help with their champion, and that's all that we're looking for. You know, to serve, you know, if we can.
Wow. And then for that framework, like for the Champions Code, is there like a requirement to be in there? Like what kind of mindset, what kind of like you know things you have to be able to be a part of your communities and things like
Well,
that?
I mean, the one thing that we ask, hopefully, in our community is that you see the star, you know, at home, you know what I mean, and not on television. And if there's no one at home but you, then see the star in you, and that's what we represent.
Wow. And then for our audiences, can you give us some, lessons that you have to learn the hard way to save them time and mistakes from making those lessons in business or family or entrepreneurship or things like that?
You know, it's those are one of those things that, like I said, that you understand how to scale. You'll know when to scale, um, based on your vision, based on your necessity. You know what I mean? Within that, I don't think that, when you lose faith and you want support that's not required, uh, then you lose control of the brand. We want to stay, stay able to deliver a powerful message of resilience, perseverance, and all those things that you get to the stage and everybody is cheering.
Mm,
So let's not jump out as soon as the tide gets tough. Let's not jump out as soon as the money gets rough. Let's stay down. Young people, and that's what we've been built on. You know what I mean? And I think that's my main message.
yeah. I mean, especially now, you got the core down, and a lot of, people that when they build their business now, they have to build a social media presence. And you've been having a big audience for a long time. How do you deal with like the hate coming from other people, whether that's jealousy or so?
Uh, well, I mean, 2 plus 2 is 4. I mean, that's two. That's just two more. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? you know, small or tall, we take them all. I mean, hate and love. I mean, it's all energy. You know what I mean? Of course, the love is appreciated, but a lot of times people that support us, if you see them in the comment section or if you see them out at the fights or whatever, you see people heckle them, right?
Mm,
You just see people, so um, I think the people that hate, they're more visible in the comment section. They're more
mm.
visible. You know what I mean? I told my guy, I was like, do you know that a bull lasts longer than a yay? Right?
How do you know
We do it like you go yay, right?
that?
But if you go boo,
What the heck?
right?
Yeah.
So it's not that motherfuckers is not cheering for us. It's just like the boo's lasting longer. So, right? One time, I'm gonna tell you a true story, and then I, Devin, they was booing so hard when we was young, right? He was young. We
Mhm.
had went to a tournament. It was in the Dominican Republic, and I had went out there and looked, and they was a lot of them. And then when me and Devin came, because he had advanced
Mhm.
to the final round, which was the gold medal round, and they were booing and they were yelling shit. And I asked him, I said, "Do you understand what they're saying?" And he said, "No." I said, "Me neither." So let's go get them. And it almost sounded like, if you ever really just, it'd be almost like a cheer, dog.
Oh
Cause,
damn.
Cause they know who the fuck you are. They know it's some bad motherfuckers come in the building, right? And so when they come in, they're like, boo, boo. But they know they booing against a motherfucker that kick ass. And they know me and Devin, we kick ass for sure.
That's crazy. Like that's wild. Um,
Now, but wait a minute. The important thing is If you can't take a boo, then I don't know what you should do. You dig what I'm saying? Because listen, it's part of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And I think that a lot of it, to shout out to Devin and I always salute, you know what I mean, my young king, and me as well, is that when you want to jump out of the car, when you want to tell someone that you're having a little bit bad of a day and you're here in this public light and you having a bad day, because everybody has a bad day. Well, you're probably not going to be the bad guy. You know what I mean? The bad guy don't have bad days. You know what I mean? You hang out with a guy named Debo who pulls up everywhere, just so disrespectful. Because that's the only thing he's looking at. If you got any hardware, you dig, he wants it. Break yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's something right out of East Oakland, man, right here with, you dig, New Legacy. And we're making legacy. Yeah, one belt at a time. 3-division champion, youngest undisputed champion, Devin the Dream Haney. Yeah, East Oakland.
That's crazy. All right, so we're gonna wrap up the show right here. But before we go, a lot of entrepreneur, inspirational people that I know, they always have like a catchphrase or something that they're known by. For you, what are you known by, Bill?
Well, I mean, you listen. Catch me, on your ass viciously if you have anything to say about Devin the Dream Haney. Respectfully. Pause.
Bill, how do people keep up with you? You're so
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know if they're keeping up or, I don't know. I mean, hey, man, this has been a great episode on New Legacy, and I don't know. I'm just having an amazing time, man. This has been dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bill, thank you so much for being part of the show. How can the audience find you?
If you have anything to say about Devin the Dream Haney, I'm on your ass. Pause.
He's out for war.